Ernie G. of Tennessee, All-SEC, All-American, U.S. Olympic gold medal winner, a young man who's put his name in many a record book, a young man who's put his heart into basketball. Basketball in general, Big Orange basketball in particular. Big Orange fans will long remember Ernie G's 4 years at UT. They packed Stokely Athletic Center, 12,000 strong, to watch him and his teammates as they aimed for and eventually captured the prize, the SEC championship and a national rating. Ernie's a young man whose life reads like the perfect American success story, a life filled with hard work and with achievement. Ernie Grunfeld was born in Satu Mare, Romania on April the 24th, 1955. And he was fortunate right from the very beginning, blessed with parents who were then and are now truly remarkable individuals. Alex Grunfeld, a gifted athlete in Romania, a famous soccer and ping pong player there, a man who loved athletic competition. His wife, a woman willing to gather up her family and leave Romania in search of freedom, a freedom they found in America.
We wanted to live in a free country, especially our children, to raise in a free country.
Mr. Grunfeld?
Oh, sure. We want to be in a country where we can say what we want, you know, we can do what we want. Over there, another situation. You can do only what's left you to do.
What was it like when you first arrived here? Were you a little frightened over the prospect of coming to a new country with new customs and new people?
It was a little bit difficult, but we were very happy from the first day, and we still are.
You liked it very much?
Very much.
What about Ernie? How did he adjust to this new country?
Well, it took him a while to adjust to this country. Haven't got friends, took him time to make friends. After a year, he was home.
And the Grunfelds were at home, home in Forest Hills, New York, a pleasant community in the borough of Queens, New York City, a community of tree-lined streets, corner vegetable markets, and neighborhood delis, a community filled with people who work hard and care about their neighbors, a community proud of its citizens and their accomplishments. It was here in Forest Hills, on this playground, the Austin Street Playground, that Ernie Grunfeld first picked up a basketball and started to play. His junior high coach remembers it well.
I met Ernie just when he was ready to start the 5th grade. I ran a summer program a few blocks from here, and he had just come over from Romania the year before, and he hadn't touched a basketball, and picked up a basketball, and I showed him a few basics, and that's how it started that summer. He'd work on it, and we'd work and improve, and then the next summer the same thing, and then he came into junior high school, and in junior high school that's where basically he picked up most of the fundamentals, but he did practice hours and hours constantly.
Was he a good player even back when he first picked up the ball in the 5th grade?
Not basically. I mean, basically he was your basic beginner, and it wasn't really until the 3rd year, in between the 7th and 8th grade, all of a sudden, in between the 7th grade summer and the 8th grade winter, he just developed overnight, and he went from a sub to a 15, 16-point game, scorer. But basically, he had to really work on it. It wasn't natural at the beginning.
He spent a lot of time at this very playground practicing, didn't he?
Yep. And the interesting thing about this playground is the fact that this playground is not known for its basketball games. In other words, in New York City, there's certain playgrounds that are known for the top players, the top college players, and even some of the pros come to play schoolyard ball. And we have certain playgrounds in this neighborhood that are used for that. But this playground basically was a practice playground. He lives 2 blocks from here, and he'd come by himself. As you can see right now that this place is deserted, he would come after school by himself and shoot for 2-3 hours in the dead of winter, and that's really where he developed his game.
He was driven by basketball, wasn't he?
I think so. I think that possibly this is a way that he knew that he was going to succeed. He had the ability, he worked hard, and it wasn't so much that, and he wasn't forced into it. His parents are wonderful people, and there's no pressure there. He just loved the game, and basically I think it's a way that he's going to find success.
What kind of a player was he for you? What kind of a a team player was he? He must have been a delight for a coach.
Forget about his talent. I mean, basketball-wise, he was delightful, but he was delightful because he's a, superhuman being. I mean, he got along with everybody. I made him the captain in the 8th and 9th grade. He helped stem off anytime there might be a little dissension on a team. Some guys maybe felt they weren't getting the ball enough. He would step right in and straighten it out. He was liked by everybody, and this goes all the way through high school also. Everybody liked him. He was a team player. He gives you 110%. Give me 5 Ernie Grunfelds, and that's all I need.
If Ernie was good in junior high, he was great in high school. Forest Hills High School, to be exact. The only athlete in the school's history to be named most valuable player all 3 years. Ernie holds the school records for scoring, and his jersey is the only one ever retired by the school. Coach Erwin Iser remembers those Grunfeld years well.
Well, Ernie came to us as a sophomore at age 15, and first of all, he was a thin, 6'1" young man. And actually, I didn't know how good he was going to be at that age. He had a lot to learn, a lot of raw talent. And in fact, his first game, I didn't even start him. That's the only game.
You didn't even start him?
No, he was a rookie, and we had some juniors and seniors returning. And of course, he did play quite a bit that game. And in his sophomore year, he was our high scorer, which is quite an honor for a sophomore. I believe he averaged 15 points and about 10 rebounds.
He developed rather quickly once he got here, didn't he?
Yes, well, he grew, physically he grew to about, well, when he graduated here, he was about 6'4", and he put on at least 20, 25 pounds. And he had the physical makings of an All-American player.
He changed in other ways other than just physical ways, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, once Ernie realized, I believe it would be towards the end of his sophomore year, he knew himself, and we knew that he had some natural gifted talent, and I think he developed some confidence in himself that he could do many amazing things with a basketball.
You use Ernie Grunfeld as an example to others now, don't you?
Oh, definitely. There isn't a day that doesn't go by that someone in the community or a teacher at school or a student or an alumni, how's Ernie doing? Is he going to be a pro? Is he going to be the high scorer in the country this year? People are always referring to Ernie, asking me questions. I don't always have all the answers. It's quite a distance away. Knoxville is anyway. Yes, the kids out here on the court idolize Ernie. Kids in the neighborhood do. He's an Olympian, a leading scorer in the country, an All-American, and kids around here actually idolize him. And Ernie was, when he played for us, he was more than just a basketball player. His personality, the leadership, that rah-rah attitude he had. Kids, his senior and junior year here was one of the few years that we sold out for every game. Kids came to see Ernie play. I wish we did as well the last few years in attendance. But with Ernie here, he was a magnet. He draws people. And it's him. It's that enthusiasm he has towards the game, wanting to win, draw that offensive foul. And I wish I had more competitors like Ernie.
Good teachers remember their good students, and the teachers at Forest Hills love to talk about Ernie G.
Oh, I remember that Ernie had difficulty fitting into the seat in the classroom. But aside from that, I remember that he was an average student. If I recall correctly, I probably gave him a 75 or an 80 at the end of the term. He was conscientious, he always was prepared, and he tried very hard, but I think he was aware of his limitations in the academic field.
He was a young man who tried. Why do you think he tried so hard?
I think that Ernie's background had a great deal to do with this. His parents were refugees from communist Romania, and I think he was just happy to be in this country where he could have such opportunities. He certainly was family conscious. I did meet his mother on 2 occasions. She was proud of him, and I think that he wanted to please his parents and please the American community.
He never used his fantastic basketball ability for anything. He considered himself just a typical student at Forest Hills High School. He never acted like a big man on campus. He worked hard, he did his homeworks, he was in there. You might say he was crashing the boards all the time he was at Forest Hills as a student.
You taught him during the day. Did you go watch him play basketball at night?
I would take my children, and we would go down and watch Ernie play. Ernie was a phenomenon. This school is not known as a basketball factory. We're one of the top 25 academic high schools in the United States. And when we get a basketball player, everybody got so turned on by what Ernie could do out there that parents, teachers, everybody was attending the basketball games.
Back when you knew him in high school, did you ever think that all of this fame and all of this attention would come to Ernie Grunfeld?
Not really, but you could sort of sense that he knew where he was going. You know, he definitely knew what he wanted, and it seems he knew how to go about doing it.
Ernie knew where he was going, all right, from Forest Hills to the hills of Tennessee, a place where he made so many new friends, a place where he felt comfortable right away. And feeling comfortable, he set out to put his name forever in the Tennessee record books. He was all-time career scoring leader for UT with 2,249 points. He was 4 times All-SEC, 2 times All-American. And through it all, Ernie never let this go to his head. He was a team man.
Ernie will do whatever he feels is good for the cause. Basketball's his life. I don't know if he knows anything else right now. I think he's going to school with the idea that he's going to be a basketball player and play professional basketball. And whatever he sets his mind to, he's going to get because he has that kind of dedication.
People like Ernie Grunfeld. The crowd at Stokely Center, they liked Ernie Grunfeld.
Well, I think the reason everybody likes Ernie Grunfeld is the fact that they know that he plays with great emotion. They know of his great loyalty to the organization in Tennessee. And he's always very friendly with all the young people around town. And every time they stop him for an autograph, he's willing to make that little sacrifice, no matter what time of the day it is. He's good at going out and making speeches for us at different club groups and even to some of the little smaller boys in these camps that they have in the summertime. He just has the right personality to go along with the talent he has, and he's going to be an expert in anything he does.
He must be a delight to work with.
Well, you always like a boy that wants to do everything you want him to do, and so he has a great ability of getting the other people on our squad to rally around him and make it a lot easier for us to coach the squad in its entirety.
When Ernie Grunfeld leaves the University of Tennessee, what will you remember the most about your years with him?
Well, I think the thing that I remember about Ernie more than anything else is that his complete and total dedication to the cause. He was with the Maccabean Games because he wanted to help the Jewish people. He was with us and played in some of the great games that we wanted to play because he felt so strongly about the University of Tennessee. And of course, he has a great interest in being one of the top people in the country, so he sacrificed himself with the Olympic team, and also in the Pan Am Games, he went out there and did a super job.
So you'll remember his sacrifices, his dedication.
Yeah, he may end up being a #1 scorer for the University of Tennessee, but the thing that I like most is the fact that he's willing to do whatever was asked of him. And he gave us a lot more than just the 25 points he scored for the season.
There's a lot of glory connected with your position in college basketball right now, but there's a lot of hard work that goes with it.
Well, definitely there's a lot of hard work, but I think there's a lot of hard work in everything. If you want to be success in something, you have to put a lot of work into it, and I've put a lot of work into basketball.
People really don't understand the amount of work that's involved in being a good basketball player, though, do they?
Well, I don't know if they understand it or not. I understand what I have to do, and I try to do it, you know, and most of the good basketball players do it. They have to dedicate themselves, they have to watch what they do, and they have to dedicate a lot of time into practice, and a lot of times it's not that much fun, but you still have to do it if you want to be a success. Success,
a word that keeps cropping up when you're talking about Ernie Grunfeld, And what greater success can a young athlete have than to represent his or her country in Olympic competition? For Ernie Grunfeld, it was an experience he'll always remember.
Well, it was a tough experience. You know, it was a very enjoyable experience. It was something that only once in a lifetime can it happen to you, and a lot of great athletes don't even get a chance to do it because they come along at the wrong time. I just happened to hit it at the right time, and I worked hard to make the team, and I made it, and it was such an experience being with 12 amazing athletes and to be in the whole atmosphere. You're in the Olympic Village. You look around, and every person in their own right is a super athlete, you know, and like if you walk around here, you know, you have some really good athletes, and then you just have some normal people. By normal people, I mean people who aren't athletes, who just walking around. But in the Olympic Village, everybody's a world record holder, or did this or did that, or broke this record, you know, and you're just in awe, you know. You open your mouth and you just look at all the great talents around you.
It's a kind of a corny question to ask, but what were you thinking of when you were standing up there and they were putting that Olympic gold medal around your neck?
Well, I was just thinking, next to me, Walter Davis was standing next to me, and he was saying, champions of the world. You know, we really worked hard for it as a unit. I think 12 guys got together, 12 high scorers, 12 guys who like to shoot the ball a lot and to play offense, and we all got together and dedicated ourselves to one thing, and that's winning the World Championship, and we did. We won it with hard work.
Hard work, something Ernie learned about from his parents. The Grunfeld home is filled with trophies and plaques and awards, all a result of Ernie's hard work. His parents keep all these awards polished and dusted and love to show off the newest ones to the neighbors. They have supported Ernie from the very beginning. They didn't actually see Ernie play in person, however, until his sophomore year in high school. From those early days when Ernie first started playing basketball, he spent a lot of time practicing and working at it, didn't he?
Very much time. Very much time. He used so much sneaker, you cannot believe it. Every 2 weeks, I had to buy him a pair of new sneakers.
New sneakers every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks. Mommy, my sneakers.
Did he ever have time for anything else when he was in school? Was he interested in dating or social activities?
Not in the beginning, but later I think he was.
Your home is filled with trophies and pictures and awards that your son has won over the years.
Yes, it is. And I have to take care of it. Nobody else can touch it but Mommy.
You're awfully proud of those, aren't you?
Yes, I'm doing it gladly.
We'd like to see him to bring in another one, a new one. Right away we figure out where will be exposed, where will be this. He knows each piece what is there. We have few hundred, we have a lot. Last time when I figured it was 98, from then on I take a whole few more. And
so you're keeping account?
Oh, sure, me too, and him too. He knows better than me.
Has any of this ever affected Ernie? Has it changed him in any way?
No, not at all. He's the same person.
The Grunfeld family is a close family. They have come through a lot together. Not only are they supportive of one another, they're comfortable together. They like each other. They respect each other. They do things together. They're proud of one another. So perhaps the best way to look at Ernie Grunfeld isn't to look at all his records, his awards, his trophies, his many honors, but to look at his parents and the values they instilled in him from those very earliest days. After receiving the Brene Brith Award as Jewish Athlete of the Year in Tennessee, Ernie talked about his parents. But first, they had something to say about their son.
Everybody looking after him when he comes home. Everybody likes to see him. It's a nice boy, a good-looking boy, and a very nice boy, you know. And a big sportsman, a big basketball player.
when I watched you all tonight during the ceremony and during those presentations, you were beaming so much from inside. You were awfully proud of him tonight, weren't you?
Yes, I was, and still I am.
If you could sum up your feelings towards your son and what he's done, what could you say about your son and the way you feel toward him?
What can I say? I love him very much.
I love him. We do everything to be happy. This is his happiness also, like for us. You know, he likes the basketball and he do everything, you know, like him very much. It's a good boy.
You're a very close family, aren't you?
Yes, we are friends, not only parents for him. We are good friends together.
Ernie, you're loaded down with awards tonight, and in your acceptance speech, so to speak, tonight, you gave special credit to two very special people in your life.
Well, those are my parents. I think you're talking about. They're just great people. You know, they've taught me really a lot about life. They have tremendous amount of courage, and they taught me that if you want to accomplish something, you just can't dream about it. You have to get out there and work at it, and that's the way they are, and that's the way I hope I'm going to be, and that's the way I hope I am.
Don't worry, Ernie, you'll make it, whatever you aim for in life, just like you've made it so far, by hard work and dedication and desire. As Ernie G. leaves the University of Tennessee, he leaves behind not only his name in the record books, he leaves behind a legacy that young men and women who will wear the orange in years to come will try to fulfill. A legacy of goodness and decency, of fair play, of good sportsmanship, of honesty, of ambition, of courage, of dedication, of hard work, of success.
2 times All-American, Olympic gold medalist, star of international competition, from Forest Hills, New York, number 22, Ernie Grunfeld.